Hi, I'm Pam Fox at pamfox.org and Quasi Yoga with Pam Fox on Facebook. Alright guys, so I'm back in the kitchen. It's Thursday night and I'm going to be making dinner. I'm actually going to be making, from the How Not to Die cookbook, I'm going to be making these bean burgers. And they look really good, don't they? This is called a harissa sauce, and it's actually got red hot chili peppers in it, so I'm not making that because I don't like spicy food. But I'm actually just going to have a bean burger. I've got bread and barbecue sauce, and I have this avocado that is hard as a rock. So I'm not going to be having that with my burger, but that's okay. I've got my kombucha, homemade. It's all right. It's not very fizzy. It needs to sit for a little bit longer. So what I've done is I actually just, this makes 3 burgers, so for something like this I like to double it because, you know, I might want 2 burgers, or I certainly might want leftovers for lunch the next day. So I just made up a batch. This is the first time I'm doing this recipe. I just cooked them. They're sitting over there cooling. They're ready to go, but I'm going to make another batch with you live. So let's get started. So the first ingredient is 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, and so I already ground up some fresh flaxseed. And what they have you do is mix it with a little bit of lemon juice. And so anything can happen live. In plant-based cooking, we oftentimes use flax mixed with a little water or lemon juice. You can't see that. To make a binder. So it's a good substitute. Instead of egg, you can make this flax and water kind of goop. It works as a good binder. So you just kind of stir that up, let it sit, and it gets kind of slimy. But before we add that, you're supposed to put in, I've got a food processor here, a half a cup of oatmeal into the food processor, and then just kind of process that to turn it into more of a coarse, or a flour, not a flour, but what does it say? A coarse flour. So it doesn't take much. That looks good. And then we're going to add the beans, walnuts, onion, garlic, and turmeric. Okay. So tonight I'm going to be using this last batch. I actually use this tri-blend. I know everything's backwards, but I love these beans because it's just a mixture. But it calls for black beans, so that's what I've got in here. I've got them rinsed, and they're going to go into the food processor. So the beans, the chopped walnuts, so it calls for half a cup of chopped walnuts, so I'm going to put those in. And a half a cup of chopped onion. I've already chopped all this stuff up because I just made it, so that's chopped. This is going to go quick. 2 cloves of garlic. I've got that chopped, and that's going to go in. And what else? Oh, turmeric. So it calls it for 1 1/4 inch piece of fresh turmeric, or a 1/4 teaspoon of ground. I've never bought fresh turmeric before, so I've got turmeric. So that goes in, and I think that was it. Yes, so we're going to process that, and that's just going to turn it into kind of like, almost like a hummus. It says to process until well combined. And we're going to process it again. So that's good enough. All right, so I'm going to show you kind of how we're doing here. This is what we've got so far. Trying to get the right lighting on there. Doesn't really look like ground beef, but that's okay. We're not really trying to make it look like ground beef. This is a bean burger. I've never been a huge fan of bean burgers. I'm hoping that I like this. I like garden burgers. Garden burgers usually have like mushrooms and carrots. That looks good. Bean burgers have beans. They're okay. They're good. I like them. I like garden burgers better. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so next, we're going to add the tahini. So when I went shopping for these ingredients last week, I didn't buy tahini because I thought I had tahini, but I used the last of the tahini. So, okay. So, I had sesame seeds though, and so tahini is just sesame seed paste. This is really good. What I did was, because I put the sesame seeds in the blender, and it was really dry. I went ahead and added the miso, which this calls for, and added some more lemon juice, which this calls for, and blended that up. And this is really good. If you guys ever had lemon tahini salad dressing, that's basically what it tastes like. So we're going to put that in there. And I know a lot of you don't have miso on hand, but it's something you can, you know, Fred Meyer carries it, Whole Foods carries it. This is what it comes in. There's two different kinds. There's the yellow, and then there's the, I don't know, there's two different colors. This is red, and then there's white, which is actually yellow. And this isn't red either, so I don't know why they have those color labels. So I just put in the tahini. It calls for 2 tablespoons of tahini, and it calls for 1 tablespoon of white miso paste. So that's in there. 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. So, so I had everything out here. Where is it? Nutritional yeast. This is Bragg's Nutritional Yeast. It's my favorite brand. I've only tried this brand and the bulk brand at the Fred Meyer produce department, and I think this one's a lot better. Nutritional yeast is kind of has a cheesy flavor, and it's, let's see what's in it. It's yeast. It's some kind of yeast, and it's got vitamin B12 in it. It's inactive dry yeast. That's what it is, and it's a good source of vitamin B12. I don't know if they fortify that or if that's just in the inactive dry yeast. But it tastes cheesy. And the first time I used it, I did not care for it because it's very strong. A lot of people love this stuff. A lot of people, when they first smell it, say it smells like Cheetos. It's really grown on me. Like, I didn't used to like it, and now I love it. So 2 tablespoons of that. I'm going to do heaping tablespoons, because, like I said, it's really grown on me. All right. Okay, so a half a teaspoon of paprika, or smoked paprika. I had all my spoons here, and now I can't. What did I do with it? It's okay, I'll get a different one. So it's just a little bit, a half a teaspoon smoked paprika. I'm not a big fan of paprika, but sounds good for this. And then, did we do the turmeric? We did the turmeric. And then 2 tablespoons of minced fresh parsley. And I still have parsley growing in my garden. So I already chopped that up. That goes in. All right, for those of you that are just coming on, I'm making bean burgers from the How Not to Die cookbook. Ah! I can't find the lid to my food processor. It's in the sink. Okay. Oh, I wanted to do a shout out to Ann. Hi, Ann. It was really nice seeing you today. Have a nice flight back home to Hawaii. All right, so we're gonna, let's see. Oh, we missed one thing. The Flaxseed Mixture. Remember I told you about the binder. So that's got to go in. Let me just look around here. Did I get everything? I think I did. Okay. All right. Try that again. So it says to pulse until well combined. Well, that looks good. Okay. And then we're going to make the patties, and we're going to cook them. And like I said, I already just did this, so I have them already done. So I'm going to make my burger, and you guys are going to get to see me eat it. Which is weird, I know. But you guys, you know, I do this because I'm trying to inspire people to try something new. Something that, you know, I always say it saved my life. I didn't have a terminal illness or anything, but it definitely transformed my life. Here it is. I'm going to taste it. I was actually eating this earlier. It was really good. I was eating it on crackers like a hummus. That's all you do. There's enough in here for 3 large patties. And Mom, if you're watching, yes, there is raw onion in this. I usually omit raw onion to everything I make, but I went ahead and put it in because I'm liking raw onion more and more. So it's just that easy. I cooked 2 of these before I started. I cooked 2 of them in the oven like it says, and then I cooked 2 smaller ones on the on my George Foreman grill, which is usually how I cook my burgers. And I think I burned them because I made them quite a bit smaller, and I just left them in there for like 30 minutes because that's how long these take to bake. I was trying one before I went live, and they're a little crisp. But I think if I eat it tomorrow for lunch, like with some ketchup, or maybe with some French dressing on a bed of lettuce, I think it'll probably be fine. I don't know, we'll find out. So there's number 3. And it is sticky. I'll wash really quick. I just put my ciabatta rolls in the toaster. So here we have our bean burgers. And those go in the oven for 30 minutes at 350. And it says you're supposed to flip them after 30 minutes and cook them for another 15. But I actually took mine out at 30 because they look like they were starting to burn. So, you know how that goes. So, I'm going to be eating this tonight. Normally when we make burgers, we have burgers and fries. And so I will chop up a bunch of potatoes. I love these Yukon Golds. Do you guys ever at Fred Meyer, if you shop at Fred Meyer, they have a bin in the back, and like these little bags of produce in these red bags are usually like really marked down. See, these are starting to chit, which means they're starting to like sprout, and so they need to get rid of them. I don't mind, I just scrub that part off, they're still good. But I'm not that hungry tonight because I had a late lunch, so I decided not to make the potatoes. And I'm going to have these potato chips, which I rarely eat potato chips, but Dwayne and I were at this liquidation place in Longview that I'd never been to before, and I don't know the name of it, but it's this big warehouse, huge warehouse. And it had boxes and boxes of these kettle chips. And these are Southern barbecue, which I'd never had before. So I got a bag of those, and I've been nursing them. And we got a bag of the salt and pepper, which is Dwayne's favorite, and we got a bag of the vinegar and salt, which is my favorite. So I might buy a bag of potato chips maybe 2 or 3 times a year. It's not that often. Burned my bread. All right, so I'm going to assemble this burger. I'm going to have it on ciabatta bread, which I know is not a whole plant food. We probably do like a ciabatta. We love these. I love these. Like some type of a sandwich. I don't know, maybe once a month, if that. Not that often. I just love this stuff. So what are we going to do? Here's our burgers. I know they look like little hockey pucks. Taste it. They're not burnt. That's good. A lot of flavor in there with the garlic and the onion. The miso adds a lot of flavor. That paprika, the cheese, of course, the nutritional yeast, just tons of flavor. Okay, so I like, when I do burgers, I usually put avocado and barbecue sauce. That's what I like. So, of course, you're going to do what you like. If you like raw onion, do raw onion. That's what my mom would do. I love raw tomato. This is a nice one. I've got this really nice, what do you call this? It's like butter lettuce, something like that. For some reason, I see that there's people on, but it's not showing me who you are, so I'm not sure why your names aren't coming up. Sometimes it does that. So if you're commenting or anything like that, I apologize because it's not showing. I can't see who's on here with me. So I'm glad you're here. It's nice to do this and have an actual audience. Okay, so I've got my barbecue sauce. I've got a little bit of pickle. I love pickle. Dwayne and I actually made these pickles at the Fermented Foods Festival in Portland this summer. This is the last of them. This is going to be, I really wish we had avocado because that would have made it really juicy. I think that's it. So this is my burger. Can't really see it. That's my burger. Of course, if you wanted to put mayonnaise or ketchup on there, but I think with the, oh, I got out this hummus. I was going to put hummus on there since I didn't have any avocado. So this is Sabra. I'm just showing you because I'm here to cook for you. So, I mean, I don't want to just have everything down here. This is Sabra hummus. Do you guys like hummus? This brand is not my favorite. I love Sabra, but I love the roasted red bell pepper is my favorite. But this they have at Costco. It's such a great deal. But they don't have the bell pepper at Costco, but they have this original hummus. So I like to have that with crackers. Okay, so here we go. So here's our burger. We've got the hummus on there. And I'm going to squish it down and I'm going to cut it in half. Ooh. Everything just squished out of the side. All right. Oh, I love barbecue. Love barbecue. Usually when I buy barbecue, or when I buy barbecue, I just try to get something. I try to get something that's, you know, organic or no high fructose corn syrup. Okay, here we go. Bean burger. Dr. Michael Greger style. It's good. Who was that? I don't know who that was. So with bean burgers, here's one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan. They don't taste anything like a hamburger. They're beany, and so you can see right here, you can see like the beans kind of squishing out of the side. So they have, you know, they're kind of crisp on the outside. You can see how they baked up crisp, but they're soft. I mean, they're beany on the inside, so, which is nice. It's a nice creamy texture. I see. James, hi. It is good. Thank you, James. James and I went to high school together. James, I really love your posts, by the way. James looks like he has an awesome family. He does really cool things with his kids. His wife looks like she could be my best friend. I've never met her, but I think we could be good friends. So I really enjoy your posts. And he gardens. You garden, which is really cool. I'm not a big gardener. I want to be a big gardener, but I don't garden a lot. My parsley in this tonight came from my garden. I've still got parsley growing out there. This is really good. In my opinion, that's a winner. Winner, winner. Bean burger dinner. All right. I'm definitely going to finish that, but I want to read to you guys from the book, because we're at the point, excuse me, in the book, in the introduction, we're at the good part. We're at the really, really good stuff. The really, really important life-saving stuff. So last time, Dr. Michael Greger was saying in his book, How Not to Die. Go for it, James. Tell Molly hi, and I'm here if she has any questions. Oh, I feel like I just have beans in my teeth. I probably do. Yeah, the food's good. I mean, you have to learn how to cook it. So there's a learning curve. And I know I've made a lot of dishes that were, I've thrown dishes in the garbage. They were so bad, especially in the beginning before I reset my palate. So Dr. Michael Greger says that in his book, How Not to Die, he said, I cover the role diet may play in preventing and reversing each of the 15 leading causes of premature death. So that's what the whole book is about, How Not to Die. He talks about the 15 leading causes of death in this country. Here they are in order, starting with the most common condition and the one my grandma was able to reverse so successfully. So I'm just going to talk about the first one, which is coronary artery disease. Thought Dwayne walked in. He could. He's at work. Okay, so he says, our number one killer lays waste to 375,000 Americans each year. But as the China Cornell Oxford project suggested, it doesn't have to be that way. Led by Professor Emeritus T. Colin Campbell, this exhaustive study examined the dietary habits and mortality rates of several 100,000 rural Chinese and later became the basis for Dr. Campbell's best-selling book, The China Study. Amazingly, Campbell and colleagues found that many of our Western epidemics of chronic disease, including coronary artery disease, were absent among plant-based Chinese populations. Okay? Similar studies conducted earlier in the 20th century in rural Africa found the same thing. Plant-based populations appeared to suffer 100 times fewer heart attacks compared to Americans of the same age. Autopsies, this is really, really interesting. Autopsies of accidental death victims have revealed that heart disease begins very early in life. In fact, heart disease may even begin in the womb if your mother had high cholesterol. In 1953, a study in the Journal of the American Medical Association examined 300 fallen American soldiers from the Korean War with an average age of 21. 22. Says these are 22-year-old fallen soldiers from the Korean War. The researchers found that 77% of the soldiers already had visible evidence of coronary atherosclerosis, and some even had arteries that were blocked off by 90% or more. Other studies of accidental death victims have shown that fatty streaks, the precursor to plaque buildup, tend to appear by age 10 among those eating the standard American diet. I forgot to set my timer, you guys. Hold on just a second. I don't want to burn those. We couldn't be sure if it was the food. Hey, Sam! We couldn't be sure if it was the food. My friend Samantha lives in Australia. What time is it there? Oh my gosh, it's tomorrow. I know that. Let's see. Dr. Dean Ornish was the first to prove in a randomized controlled trial that a plant-based diet and other healing lifestyle changes could reverse heart disease. And guys, one of the things, like, I like to go online and read all kinds of stuff. So not just, what the plant-based doctors are saying, but I like to read what the people are saying who like to try to debunk the plant-based doctors and discredit the plant-based doctors. I'm always trying to hear what everybody has to say. And it's really interesting. One of the things they say, I hear them say over and over and over, is that, oh, those doctors who are promoting a plant-based diet are just trying to push their vegan agenda, as if they're trying to, I don't know, gain numbers to a club or something. And it's I mean, you could look at it that way, I guess, but what it really is doctors who are tired of their patients not getting well on conventional treatments, put them on a plant-based diet and they get well time and time again, and they even reverse, some of their conditions, like our country's #1 killer. And so these doctors who promote a plant-based diet do it because it's working. They do it because, you can't say that. Our #1 killer, the treatment for our #1 killer is statin, stents, and bypasses. And so that conventional treatment doesn't have as good as results as this. So yeah, they're going to push a plant-based diet because it gets better results, because their patients are getting the results that they want, which is to heal. That's the results that we want, right? We want to heal. We don't just want to manage our conditions. All right, just a little bit more. This is just a couple paragraphs. It might sound like a lot, but hi, Kathy. We couldn't be sure if it was the food, though, so they put it to the test, and then they repeated again. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn Jr. followed up using just the dietary component. So he repeated the test without any exercise, just the food, to see, what just the food did. In 2014, he published a study involving nearly 200 patients with severe heart disease, some like my grandma who couldn't make it to the mailbox without being crippled over in pain. At the onset of the trial, Dr. Esselstyn told his patients to adopt a whole food, plant-based diet. After making the switch, more than 99% of his compliant patients avoided further major cardiac events. So 99%. I mean, you cannot say that about conventional treatments for heart disease, that 99% have no repeat cardiac events. Ooh, this looks really good. I want to eat it. Samantha, did you see what I made? You just coming on? I've never met Samantha in person. She lives in Australia, but we're like total besties. And she's an amazing cook. I've never eaten her food, but I know she's an amazing cook. So it's important to me that I show this to her. I'm kind of showing off. Except I've got potato chips on there, which I always tell you to stay away from. Sorry. So that's it. I'm going to finish my dinner. I'm going to plate this up for my husband because he's working so hard today, and I know that he is expecting dinner when he gets home because I told him I was making these. So, and then I've got leftovers for my lunch tomorrow. But before I go, I just want to remind you guys that I have my coaching circles starting in February. And so I actually have 2 groups now, 2 coaching circle groups. So I'm going to be coaching a 7:30 a.m. group and a 10:30 a.m. group on the 1st and the 3rd Monday starting in February. This is a 6-month program, and if you would like more information, just let me know and I can send you that information. But basically we're going to start with the food, and we're going to go on a 30-day vegan challenge to start out. And I'm going to be there to educate you, to guide you, to inspire you, to encourage you, and to hold you accountable. But we're going to go on a plant-based diet for 30 days, and you're going to see, right? You're going to see if you're sick. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to do this 30-day challenge unless you're sick. Unless you're sick and you're desperate and you really, really want to do something that's effective, that's going to help you heal. And so you can try this and find out for 30 days. The program is 6 months long. There are 12 sessions. We meet via teleconference. You call in, we meet as a group. One of the benefits of meeting as a group is not only do you have the accountability as myself as your health coach, but you have the accountability of the entire group, holding you accountable to do the assignments that I give you during the course of the period of time between the sessions. So yeah, contact me if you're interested, and I can send you more information about that. Thanks, Sam. And and I'll send you more information. And if you're ready to do something where you have to be open-minded, you have to be committed, you have to be ready to try new things, let me know. And in February, we'll try it and we'll find out. We'll find out what a plant-based diet can do for you. And I know I sound like a broken record because I say this all the time, but it's the only way that you'll know. You can read all the studies, you can watch all the testimonies, you can get the books, watch the documentaries, you can go online and see people bickering back and forth whether or not a plant-based diet is good or bad. The only way you'll know is to try it. And I guarantee you, if you go on this healthy whole foods plant-based diet for a month, nothing bad is going to happen to you. Okay, you're not going to wither away. In my experience, I healed and gained energy, and my eyes were open to a whole new world. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, which I'm not sure when that is. I plan on doing another one of these tomorrow night, but I don't think I have all the ingredients, so I have to double check, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come back and cook something else, not from the book, because I won't have a chance to go to the store tomorrow to pick up what I need. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and have an awesome evening. Bye. Bye, Sam.